All right. Normally, I don't do a lot of reaction videos. I think the only one I've done is the Moika one. But this has been getting a lot of attention, and I know it has massive lore drops in it, which I somewhat keep up with it. Not the best at it. So I'm very excited to see what this is all about. Apparently, it talks about certain like angels or sinners or the Ryan daughters and all that stuff of Genshin Impact. So yeah, I'm just gonna press play and go through the comments afterwards to get more info because I might be lost for like over half of this video. So we'll see when it plays.
This world has always been so. Life abides no reason, for none are born by their own consent. Death abides no reason, for it cannot be defied, even by those who see it coming. Time abides no reason, for it deprives us all equally, yet brooks not a second to be reclaimed. Space abides no reason. The ruler of space stopped the golden-haired twin travelers and mercilessly tore them apart.
Wow, okay. Why did they mute the train?
The beer... No. This looks more like Rhine daughter's doing. Please don't litter other people's spaces with your bizarre creations.
Unsurprisingly, all life here has been rendered unstable, tainted by the ruler of space. I have seen enough to know that repeating this experiment would be fruitless.
You seem to wield my power as if it were nothing but a plaything for your amusement. Although merging with you has stripped me of agency, I shall still continue to voice my disapproval. My dear Rhine daughter.
You have my respect, Nibirius. Your nagging is one of the only things that can get under my skin.
And you, Istaroth? Why did you bestow history upon them?
I had to find some way to pass the time, did I not? After all, it's clear that Asmodee is not here.
Well, perhaps you could share your input a little earlier next time. But you're right. There's no trace of Asmodee here. Where has she gone? Anyway, it's time I put this space out of its misery.
Well, she can just do that, huh? I guess.
These meetings are just a formality. Does it really matter that only 3 of us are here?
I, for one, think that we should find her. Since the heavenly principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
What if she just switched sides? Finding her would do more harm than good.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial affair. We are shades, shadows of the heavenly principles. It's unthinkable. Unless she loves her new master more than her own self.
Renova, do you know that you're being watched?
By whom? Whose gaze could pierce this far? I remember those eyes.
Shit.
It was just before I placed the curse of immortality.
Ah, yes. He's an old acquaintance of mine. I'm sure that working for the Tsaritsa has helped him let go of his past obsessions.
The Cryo Archon. With her paltry powers, she dares set her gaze on the heavenly principles.
The heavenly principles have yet to awaken. If I were her, I wouldn't pass on that opportunity either.
My dear Rhine daughter, you know I cannot allow you to think that way.
It was purely hypothetical, Nibirius.
For lack of a direct order, I say it's time we intervened. Of course, to the extent permitted by the rules.
Man, what is Jesus?
The gaze of the gods has always been considered a blessing. Hence the origin and meaning of visions. People have always yearned for the gaze of the gods. And yet, it is said that when mortals look directly upon the gods, they invite their wrath and retribution. And what of it? Lives will be lost, a nation brought to ruins. So be it. It is nothing I have not endured before. I already know the price of gazing upon the gods. So tell me, what is the price of killing a god? The god stays silent, as if the thought had never once crossed his mind. To all those who dare not look up to the heavens, Her Majesty the Tsaritsa says this. Behold. Even the gods have their limits.
Inspection over. Return to your posts.
Make sure the Frostmoon Scions don't pose a threat.
Per the Pale Star Edict, we are to retrieve the damselette from Nod Cry, whatever it takes.
So, wait. So, Columbina is gonna be a nut cry, which is good to know, because dude, there have been some leakers that says she's gonna be there, but I was cautious about that because I don't trust leakers that much. But yeah, this kind of is pretty much confirmed that she's gonna be there, which is good news for Columbina watchers. But is their plan, the Saritsa's plan, to unalive the Heavenly Principles? I think that's what I'm picking up. But how would they do that? How would they do that? I have a guess on how they would. It has something to do with all the gnosis that she's collecting and a certain dragon. But that's my only guess. Let me go to the comments, see if there's a paragraph guide on here. Dropping lore, Paimon, you is not slick. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people think Paimon is one of like the shades, I guess, from what they're saying. Cause the whole love her new master. Yeah, it's not looking too good for the Paimon allegations. Every title, one of the 5 sinners, yes. Yeah, that's okay. Not cry teaser. Playable shades are near. That if like a playable like Renova, that would be so fucking sick. What is it? What else? For those confused, lore cap. This is okay. Hey, we found our guy. Okay. Let me. Hold on. For those who confused, here a little bit of lore crap to help you. Lore recap to help you understand. This is lore of the 4 shades. The first one is God of Death. Yes. Second one is God of Time, Astaroth. The third one, God of Space. We know her as the unknown god, now as Asmodee. Okay. The fourth one is God of Life. Other mentioned named Ryan Daughter, also known as Gold, one of the 5 sinners of Kami. Yes, we know. Jester, the first member of the Harbinger, and the director of the Fatui. Now the recap. Long before set foot in Tibet, Prince answered, becoming the first throne by casting 4 great shadows of itself. Among them were Nibirius, who shaped animals, plants, and humankind. So life, that makes sense. Israt the Undying, 1,000 Winds, okay, who governed time's flow. And Asmodee, the stern sustainer, who would later bar the skies. Renova, whose name survives only in whispered curse, completed the hidden pantheon, okay? After 40 years of war, the 7 sovereigns were defeated. So the dragons. And the newborn nation bowed to the principles. Nibirius and Astaroth helped stitch the new world together. Nibirius naturing life, Astaroth letting stories take roots, brought by the wind and cultivated time. So give them time, yeah. Right, Astaroth, time, yeah. Yet their work was far from peaceful. They marched again in the great war of vengeance against ancient dragons and the wandering voyager. Don't know who that is. Shaking the very crust of the earth, or whatever their planet this is, right? And sinking Economia beneath the sea. Even so, Esteroth alone continued to answer the plea of the lightless realm. Her Sento ceremony and Bakuso box keeping its abyssal darkness at bay. Yeah, that was a limited time event for whatever reason. I'm glad they're revisiting it and not cry, I'm assuming. Centuries drew on in distant Conria, a royal mage Perio failed to halt his sage's attempt to tear aside the veil of sin. Divine wrath followed. Yeah, we got that. Conrian disaster. As Celestia rained crimson cubes upon the land, Renova descended and marked Perio and the other pure-blooded commoners in immortal agony. Pharaoh's bitterness hardened. He would leave his ruined homeland, pledge himself to the Cryo Archon, and forge the Fatui. So he was the maker of the Fatui. I thought it was a Saritsa. Recruiting brilliant but broken souls, Dottore, Scaramouche, Sonora, to wage a quieter war against the world's design. Oh man. Meanwhile, Niberius' own fate was sealed deep underground. Which one is Niberius? The god of life, okay. Of sleep, the alchemist Ryan daughter on Earth. On Earth, the heart of Niberius alongside her finest creation, Albedo. Hungry for greater power, she consumed the heart infused with the shades, vanishing and leaving Albedo to seek the truth and the meaning of this world. Yeah, we got that from the Prologism quest. Thanks for the correction. Sometimes before the cataclysm, Asmodee herself appeared in the sky above Tibet, denouncing the traveler twins' attempted journey as the arrogation of mankind, shattered the heaven into a swarm of dark red cubes, and sealed each twin away. The brother or sister awakened first. This we know, and bereft the faith in the order Asmodee upheld, became leader of the Abyss Order. The other only awoke 500 years later in our present day, power shackled, searching. So Asmodee became the leader of the Abyss Order. So that was Asmodee the voice we were hearing in the Care Bear quest with the big crystal? I think so. Though this part still confuses me, we know that when the siblings arrived in Tibet, I'll just say Lumine since I play Ether. She woke up first inside a capsule, possibly inside of a spaceship, now trapped inside a big red cube like we're originally led to believe. Not trapped in... Okay. She then left her still sleeping brother behind and headed toward Conria. She spent a lot of time inside the nation while waiting for her brother to wake up. During the time, the king of Conria appointed her the princess and later granted her a power of the abyss, which triggered the cataclysm. Okay. I guess because the Outlanders shouldn't have the power to begin with. Makes sense. When she witnessed the city being destroyed by a giant cube, she wanted to save it, but suddenly she received news that her brother has just woke up, which is a lie because caused by a time paradox. So instead of saving the city, she went to check her brother first. That's why some people still believe that their capture happened after the cataclysm. This is just personal theory, but maybe Ether woke up from the capsule sometimes later, and together with Lumine, they saw the city already destroyed. They attempted to flee to another world, but during their escape they were catched by Asmodee instead. That could explain why Ether has memories of Conria, otherwise it wouldn't really make sense. I don't know. Thus, the first breath of creation of the lingering embers of rebellion, the threads of Niberius' life-giving art, Astaroth's winding time, Renova's bitter curse, Pharaoh's clandestine vengeance, and Asmodee's iron law weave a single tapestry. The struggle over whom decides Tibet's fate, celestial shades, mortal kings, or two determined travelers who challenge them all. I probably have made a mistake somewhere. Yeah. This... Oh my goodness. Columbina, I screamed. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, is there any more Venti controlling time, sort of, kind of? I don't know. The crazy, I check other languages, every Astaroth VA is Venti VA 2. Apparently every VA for Venti is in all languages or voicing Astaroth. Not really suspicious about our tone deaf bard. I mean, out of all the Archons, he is the most suspicious one. Theory is not theory anymore. It has been confirmed. What has that Venti is so sus. We'll all be coming back to Mondstadt. I think one of those YouTube Genshin lore channels already mentioned that Venti is a god of time, which I already believed for maybe 3 years. Well, he is her son after all. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is some crazy ass shit. All right, well, that was pretty insane. I wish I knew more about the lore, because if I did, I'd be losing my shit. Even though they didn't really. Did they really mention a lot? I mean, they introduced the shades. That's really about it. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, until whatever crazy lore video they drop next. Later.